look at our money moment brought to you by Chime. This was last night in Madison Square Garden. Tyrese Halliburton and the New York Knicks, game 2 action here, but really, this was spicy. This was all about Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, look, Pascal Siakam, we forget, this guy's a champion, right? He's not afraid of the Eastern Conference Finals. This guy's played in the NBA Finals. He came to New York City and put an imprint on this game. A lot of people thought the Knicks were not going to let it happen again. He was the best player on the floor. But again, all the pressure that Stephen A. has put on the Knicks, it's making it very hard for them. Very difficult.
Going ahead to the fourth quarter here, Karl Anthony Towns on the bench, and this really is where the Knicks were able, or the Pacers rather, were able to create separation for.
They did, but they shared it well. They got it done collectively, and give the Pacers credit, right? They got stops when they need to, when they got out of transition. And Bob, you know, out of all people, about Pascal Siakam being a champion.
Why would you say something like that?
Here comes Karl Anthony Towns. It's a 9-point game here. The finishing touches on this one, Coach.
Well, I'll tell you what, we have to mention it was a tie game going into the fourth quarter. And with Karl Anthony Towns in the game, they got down by 9 points. Tibbs went away from him. He put him back in late. Too much to overcome. Indiana now has gone in to Cleveland and New York and taken their hearts in the first 2 games.
Yeah, they're really making this their calling card. They continue to win the close ones. They're 7-0 in clutch time games this postseason. It's the longest win streak in clutch time games within a postseason since the Heat in 2011. And I got to tell you, the entire time I was watching this game, especially the end, I was just thinking, how's Stephen A. Smith doing?
I threw up. That's how I feel. I threw up last night. I was so sick and disgusted with what I saw. You cannot bench Karl Anthony Towns for 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. You just can't do that. The New York Knicks don't have depth. Rick Carlisle can do it. All right, Daigneault can do it, but when you're a team devoid of depth, one you didn't work to perfection to develop throughout the regular season. You don't wait until the postseason all of a sudden get exploratory. You can't have Mitchell Robinson in there at the expense of an all-star who gives you 24 a night, okay, who just had a big game the night before. You cannot do that, but that's exactly what Tom Thibodeau did. And I point the finger directly at him. For the fourth quarter, I saw him every time there was a camera shot on him, his arms are just sitting there, just folded, looking completely helpless. Well, damn it, he wasn't helpless. At the end of the day, you got a situation where Indiana, who's been the underdog in each one of these games, still came back and win. But I thought what he did was egregious. I thought it was a damn shame. And here's what I'm worried about, Big Perk. Karl Anthony Towns, from a personality perspective, I'm worried about him being upset, because when he gets upset, he'll come out on the court and just shoot and just jack the ball up. And I don't know how effective that'll be for the Knicks.
One, hopefully he's upset and pissed off that he want to go and prove his coach wrong for benching him. That's the number one thing. But we got to give credit to the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, of course.
Because with Tom Thibodeau is left in a tough spot. You got Jalen Brunson, who's a liability. They're searching him out. And you got Karl Anthony Towns, who's a liability. And the Pacers are searching him out. And both of them are getting cooked. And credit to the Pacers, because I said this series was going to come down to Karl Anthony Towns and Miles Turner. And I want you to watch Miles Turner defensively. Watch how he hedges out on pick and rolls. Watch how he sit down and defend at a high level. Again, one of the leading shot blockers in the postseason. If your two best players are not going to take pride and play defense,
wait a minute. Well, that wasn't any different than game one, and they went into overtime. They had a 17-point lead with 6+ minutes. It was 14 with 2:50. It was 9 with 52 seconds left. You weren't saying that then. I want to hear that now. I'm not saying they played good defense. I'm saying it was good enough for you to win game one, but you choked. You blew it. You come into game two, and a coach choked as far as I'm concerned. And I'm looking at Indiana. Let's bring up Pascal Siakam. He bust their living ass. That's what he did. He came out, scored the first 11 points. He sat up there and smoked them in the first half. Did it again in the fourth quarter. They had no answer for this champion. I'm not saying Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns is the answer defensively. What I'm saying is that wasn't the excuse for not stopping Pascal Siakam. Let's just stop it. Let's just stop it right now. It's excuses. There's no reason for the Knicks to be down 0-2 and on the verge of getting swept. They better win tomorrow night.
No one thought, I don't think anybody watching pictured the Pacers being 2 games away from the NBA Finals. I give credit to a couple different people. Obviously, Halliburton gets what he gets. Rick Carlisle, what he's done with this roster. And Kevin Pritchard, he put together a deep team. And watching that game last night, the Pacers looked clearly like the better team to me. You can talk about the first game. But last night, the Pacers took it to them.
Well, Sunday is game 3 here, Stephen A. I know you'll be watching as the series shifts back to Indianapolis.
They
And the
better
Knicks,
win.
they find themselves. We are live from the Target Center where the Wolves have a target on their back. Can they power back in this all-important Game 3? Welcome to NBA Countdown alongside the legendary Stephen A. Smith, who's getting his groove on, NBA champion Kendrick Perkins, the architect of the Warriors dynasty, Bob Myers, champion coach Michael Malone. I'm Malika Andrews. Gentlemen, we know the importance of this game here for the Minnesota Timberwolves. It feels like, Coach, if they are going to do it, they need to contain Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. What has he done so well?
Well, he's dominated the series, the MVP, 35 points per game, and he leaves the conference finals averaging 15 points a night in the paint. I want to show you 4 clips because these examples show him getting to his spots on a really easy and efficient manner. This first clip here is going to have the ball left sideline. Great job of creating separation and airspace for the step-back jumper over Jaden McDaniels. This is too easy. No resistance. Gets DiVincenzo in the post. Minnesota offers no help, leaving Dante DiVincenzo on an island. Turnaround jumper over the left shoulder. Pick and roll. Gobert's down the floor. He's operating in space. Gets to his jumper. 2 of his paint points here. And this last one, the most inexcusable and unacceptable by Minnesota, allows him the finger roll layup. Minnesota, where is the urgency? Where's the physicality? And where's the multiple effort?
They primarily used Jaden McDaniels to try to contain SGA in Game 2. It just didn't work. They found some success on Anthony Edwards, who limited the MVP. Would you put Ant on him in this game?
Without a doubt, he's got to guard him tonight at some point.
How would you contain SGA here, Perks?
With both of them at the same time. Listen, I talked to 3 head coaches today, 3 championship head coaches, and they all said the same thing. They said they would double team him until he gives up the ball. He cannot be the one that's going to beat him. Hell, I would have sent the double team when they jet landed yesterday. That's how much I would want to get the ball out of his hands. You cannot let the best scorer in the league, the one guy that won the scoring title, the MVP averaging 35 in this series, continue to beat you one-on-one with Rudy in the drop cover.
Shai is fantastic, right? And if you haven't watched Shai Gilgeous, watch this guy. If you haven't tuned into the NBA, he's worth it. He deserved the MVP. They got the best record in the league. They're better than I thought, and I thought they were pretty good. I don't know why we don't appreciate what they've done all year. If you would have asked any of us who's going to win the title this year, we always look at the team that just won it. I said Boston. You probably said Boston. I don't know what you thought because you were coaching. I said Denver. Nuggets. We said Denver. We don't properly respect teams until they win the championship. This team is the favorite to win the championship, and I think, no disrespect to what's going on even here in Minnesota or what's going on in the Eastern Conference. By the way, I blame you for what's going on in the Knicks. I blame you for what's going on.
We're going to get to that, don't you worry.
We'll get there. But lastly, this Thunder team looks like the best team left, and it's not even close. Yeah.
Well, you can say that, and nobody's in a position to refute you. However, we got to look at the Minnesota Timberwolves and what they're not. SGA, when he's on the court, he is a plus 47. That is 11 points better than anybody in the postseason. Ant-Man is minus 45. Only Dante DiVincenzo being on the court at a minus 47 is worse. That's horrible. You can't have that attached to your name if you're Ant-Man. So I'm not saying don't double SGA, but I'm saying you embrace the challenge if you're Ant-Man of guarding him, because there's such a discrepancy, at least statistically, from what both superstars have given us in this series. And as a result, you're looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves on the verge of getting swept. And who thought we would be having that conversation? If you Ant-Man, you got to embrace that challenge.
I think Anthony Edwards, he knows the stakes of this game. They went down 0-3 to Dallas last year. We know what the end of that story looked like. Another team that is hoping not to face that devastating of a hole to look into.
What's your favorite team? Comment below, and if you liked the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow and brings you even more content. Oh, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive all notifications. With each game, we notice that the NBA is getting more competitive every day, and all the teams are looking for reinforcements to win the championship. And only here can you follow your favorite team daily with incredible content from different sources. Here on the channel, there are new videos every day with analysis, curiosities, and the best moments in basketball. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for following along. The NBA doesn't stop, and neither do we. Until the next video. NBA, the passion that connects us.